Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. My name is Megan. If you didn't know, now you know. We've got this hand here and it needs some decorating. So today we're gonna do fluid nail art. What is fluid nail art and how do you do it? So here's an example. I did this one earlier just to test these colors because this is the colors for this week's nail challenge in this group that I'm in, but this is what it is. And you can't make it straight up on your nails. You have to make it on a silicone mat and then peel it off and put it on your nails. But it's really cool. So the first thing you will need is a fluid art nail polish. This one is from Super Chic, I suppose. Super Chic Lacquer. And this is the white one. I have a black one and a clear one, but I like the white one the best. They do also sell it in colors. Not all of the polishes you use have to be a fluid art polish, but one of them should. Now, weird fact, Orly metallics, for whatever reason, tend to want to make cells on their own. So metallics are really great to use when doing this particular technique. However, the other polishes that we're going to be using today are not. These are creams. So I am gonna try and put everything here so you can kind of see what's going on. So I'm gonna start by opening all of the bottles that I'm going to be using. I want them to be easy to access and quick because we are kind of working with speed for this. Let's try and not knock them over. That'd be cool. And then I have this little circle here. And then I'm going to take this one, and you want to kind of get like a generous amount. Like, don't just dump it on there. That's not necessary. But it needs to be enough that it's kind of spreadable. It's like a little puddle would be fine. And I'm surprised it lasts as long as it does because I use a bunch. And then you kind of just want to put some polish on it. You can put it on here in any way that you like. Whatever you think is a fun little drip pattern. I like to start with the lightest first and then work my way up to the darkest. That way I'm not overdoing it with the dark and then it just ate my light colors alive. This one is super dark, but it is a purple. Okay, so I'm gonna go easy with that. Now, what you wanna do is pick this up and we're gonna take it like it's got 4 corners and fold our 4 corners together and kind of do a little smush. Don't smush it hard, just a little bit, and then let it open. Now let me zoom this in for you. All right, so I will let that spread and I will speed it up so you can see it. Well, I guess that's probably as much as it's going to spread, so never mind on that. What you can do to encourage it is you can always bend this so that it helps to kind of run it down and it'll pull the middles out some more. You can also take another polish and kind of pull it out, but I'm going to leave it like this. And now you're going to take this and set it to the side because this has to dry completely so that we can make a decal out of it. And I need to make a few more because I've got a whole hand to do. Now, you can technically sometimes get 2 on one of these circles, but it can be challenging. So up close, let's make another one on here. Let me put some of this white. If you make it big enough, then you can use it for 2 nails. So let's try that. Let's try and just make this one bigger. Alrighty, let's put some of this over here. Let's kind of try it if we do it like in sections. I'm still relatively new at this, so I'm still experimenting on how I like to spread my polishes out to see what they do. Yeah, okay, so we've got them like this. Let's do our little 4-way squishy and then let it spread. Ooh, I almost dropped it. Okay. that one made a bit of a weird star. I don't know if I'm going to be able to use more than one nail out of it though, because it dips in so much in some of these sections. I wonder if I can kind of get this little crevice here to come together. Yes, I think maybe so, because I'd like to be able to use that. Oh, some of it seemed to have got away underneath it. That's one of the things. You probably want to be careful with it when you're letting it go so it doesn't just fling everywhere. So anyway, that's what we have for this one. And I'm going to set it to the side and then we'll make up some more. I've got this big old circle. Let me back it up. Yeah, so we're going to try and get 2 onto here. So let's just start with over here on this edge. And let's do like a target situation. See what happens with that. Ah, don't spill it. All right, now let's see when we smoosh this. Not sure that's the favorite, but I'm going to try and encourage it to spread by doing this folding technique. So it'll run down the sides. I really only need enough of it for a nail. And I think I can get one out of this section right here. So that's cool. Let me zoom in so you can see it. Yeah, look at that. That's neat. Let's try on this side a little bit differently, I suppose. Let's just get some of this out. Okay. Dot, dot, dot. Yeah, I just like to kind of put them on here with a little bit in each area, but kind of randomly. There we go. And let's pick this up and do our little fold and squish and separate. All right, let me zoom that in so we can look at it spread. Didn't want to run that down. I was trying to get the other one to run a little bit. Let me just put it down and stop being crazy. That's cool, huh? So we'll let that dry, and that'll give us a total of 5 little patches. And then when they're dry, I will come back and show you how we're gonna put them on the nails. Okay, so the first thing you're gonna do is you're gonna pick which one of your colors you wanna use for your base, because if there are any holes or thin spots, you want one of these colors to be involved to blend it in. I've decided I want to go with this one, the dark bluey, gunmetal-y, silvery, oily polish. It's called Endless Night. There we go. It made me refocus a different height. So Endless Night is this one. Okay, so we're gonna paint these. That's so pretty, isn't it? There we go. You don't need to do a second coat because it's just a base, but we'll let these dry and then we'll come back for the next step. Okay, we're back. Look how pretty that is, even on its own. I did go ahead and put a top coat on there to help stabilize it. So let's do the next thing. I'm gonna get out my little scissors here, because we're gonna have to do some trimming. Let's check this one out. It's the thickest. I wanna make sure it's nice and dry. Okay, perfect. Now this one, I don't have to really cut off a whole bunch, but I'm gonna set it right here. This guy certainly needs some trimming. So like, we kinda wanna cut off the bits we're not gonna use because they're just gonna be in the way. So let's just choppity choppity chop. Now I'm not entirely sure which piece I'm going to use, so I'm going to save this big chunk and I'm going to set that over here with the other one. This one's going to need trimming too. would you come off of there? Ooh, this one is being feisty. It wants to crack instead of peel. Please do the right thing. How problematic of you. Okay, well, let's do this. Let's get this pusher and see if we can't get this thing to peel up gently. I don't want to break it because I want to be able to use this middle section. Got a problem area going. All right, well, we got something. So this part we definitely know we're not going to be using. This part is also broken, so we'll chop that off. That part too. And that part, even though I'm unlikely going to use that. All right, and then over here, we don't need that bit. Okay, let's set that down. Okay, and then we've got two more. Hopefully they are in better spirits. Peel on up there, friends. Wonder if it's when I put it on the shiny side, if it's more resistant to peeling. These mats, one side's typically shiny and the other side is more of a matte finish. And when I put it on the matte side, it seems to peel up better. So make note of that. Similarly over here, I'm not going to be using this bit because it is too thin. But this center part, I do want to keep intact. Gently peel that up and set it over here to the side. I'll have to peel those off and throw them away. Let's try and get this one up. All right, perfect. Okay, so I've got all my little bits that I'm going to use, and then I'm going to use this Orly Bonder base coat. And so here's how it works. We're going to put the base coat on, and then we're going to set what is now a decal on the nail, and then we're going to start to shape it around the nail. I'm going to zoom in so that you can see what's going on, but you're not going to be able to see a whole lot else. We'll start with this finger. All right, and then we'll take this one. And then we have to decide how we want to place it. And I'm kind of thinking I want to try and get my nail in the middle here. You can still slide it around a little bit once you get it kind of sat on there. But I try not to do that much because you risk tearing it up. And then once you get on there, you want to start to kind of push it from the center down towards the edges so that you're smoothing it around the contours of the nail. All right, and then I take this part of the cuticle pusher, and then we're going to start cutting the excess off here at the edges. You just kind of push in on it and it'll just slice it through. Now we can blend these edges at the end, but we do want to get this excess off of here and not have to try and melt it off with our cleanup brush. That's going to take all day. And then I get these tweezers to kind of get a hold of this. Peel it back so we can see what we've got. Here's a section that could use a little bit more cutting, apparently. There we go. And then I find the free edge part, you can generally just kind of go along it and tear it. Just be gentle with it so you don't tear too much. And if need be, you can just trim where there is too much. And then we'll melt the rest of that in. So here's where you're going to take your cleanup brush, dip it in acetone, and then kind of tap it off on a paper towel so you get rid of the excess. And then we're going to go around the edges and just kind of touch them so they melt a little bit. And that's going to help that seal to the nail. And then for this part, you can just tap like this and it kind of pushes it up under the edge and melts it on there. You can see if you flip it over where it's folded under and become kind of like a part of it. And then if you got a little bit too much, just use that acetone to melt it off of there and wipe it away. Now my end has a little bit, so we're gonna work on getting that melted on there. Just gently. That looks great, I think. Let me show it to you. Isn't that cool? And then when that dries, that's just going to become a part of that base polish. So now we get to do the other nails. Let's see which one we want to do next. I think I'm going to save this skinny one for the index finger. Maybe I can try that one. Does take up quite a bit of it, but I think that'll be okay. Yeah, let's take that one. So remember, just some base coat so it has something to stick to, and then get it on there where you want it, and then start mushing it down around the contours of the nail. All right, and then we'll cut off our edges. Okay, and then we do our little edge melting again. All right, that's looking pretty good too. All right, I'm gonna go ahead and throw these other three on off camera because it does take a bit of time. All right, so we've got them on there. They're looking pretty cool. There's the thumb. I like it, if I do say so myself. You can go around and just make sure everything is in place once it's dry, because you can touch it. And then what we're gonna need to do is use this smudge-free top coat, because we don't wanna just go over these arts with our regular top coat and melt them all together. That would ruin the effect that we worked so hard to create. So let's just protect that with this smudge free. This is the Aqua Topper, which is the one I like. It gives like a thicker gel-like finish, I think. But yeah, once we get this on here, we'll let it dry, and then we'll be able to go in with our final top coat for long wear and protection. There we go. Alright, so I'll let that dry and then we'll come back. Alright, looking good. Let's go in with a top coat. I'm using this one because I like how thick it is and the way that it makes it kind of magnified like a gel. But it's not gel. Absolutely gorgeous. They are so beautiful. Alright. So that is what fluid nail art is and how you do it. Now I know that at least Maniology has put out a stamping plate to kind of mimic this, but it's just not the same. Like if you do that, that's cool. You can get two colors to kind of look like you got something going on, but it's just not this. And this is easier than you think it will be. I will leave you a link to the fluid art polishes that I used, but there are others out there, so if you find a different one, you're absolutely welcome to use it. Word on the street is that potentially you can make one, but I don't know how to do it, so I cannot advise you. But this is super cool. It does take a little bit of time, but that's totally okay, especially if you're the type of person who likes to do your nails in spurts. Do a little bit, go live your life, do a little bit, go live your life. This is a great method for that. Anyway, thank you so much if you did watch this video, and if you made it to the end, leave me a comment. Let me know what you think of this. Like, is this your vibe? Do you like this style of nail art? What colors do you think would look good with fluid art? And are you gonna try it if you haven't tried it before? Hit that like button if you like this video. The algorithm thanks you, and so do I. And make sure you're subscribed so you're not missing my content. We do fun things over here. And then check the description for my links to brands and their discount codes. There are a few down there. You can take advantage of those, and make sure you're following my socials. I post things over there that I sometimes don't post over here, and you don't want to miss it. So, thank you again. I'll see you in the next video. Goodbye.